The name of the house is called Shotgun Chameleon. The first word shotgun comes from the idea of the shotgun houses that you find all around here. The shotgun houses actually, they got the name because if you take a shotgun and you fire the shotgun from the front door, you basically shoot through without any wall in its way, and all the way you go through the back. The idea about a chameleon, why does the design just fit one lot? Why can't the design fit the entire neighborhood? When we look at these two different types of interpretation of this neighborhood, right? We have hardie-plank there and we have metal there. So my thinking is being a good neighbor. I'm trying to reconcile those two different materials together. So that's why you see the kind of combination of hardie and metal together, trying to be like a good in-between guy. Hello. A lot of people ask me, when you design the house, how come these two walls are tilted? This wall and that wall, they are tilted like that. It actually came from a close study. If you look at our neighbor, we have 3 neighbors right there. So imagine you are building another straight wall next to the straight wall. You feel really compressed. So by tilting the wall inside like a V shape, you're actually not just inviting people towards the main entrance and the stair, but you're actually relieving the compressed space. So you feel like the space is much more open. And then this material is also very interesting. You are actually taking the wood from one side. When you make it inside out, you use the price of one, you furnish both sides. A lot of fences, one side is ugly. So we actually, either you benefit yourself or you benefit your neighbor, right? Doing that, I actually becomes another mediator, right? I'm friendly to both sides. And also, when you alternate like this, you also allow sunlight to go through. And then you can feel like the breeze going through and you don't feel claustrophobic, right? You can still see. When my parents, they see the lot, they're like, this is tiny. Pape, you want some puzzle? There's a misconception when you try to buy a house, how many square feet? But square footage is not the only thing that decide how a space feels. A space can feel bigger with volume. So if you have a higher ceiling, you can feel better. A space like this porch, when you don't need it, you close it. But when you need it, you can open it. Suddenly your space is already that big. So this will be an outdoor kitchen. So we have sink done, but we still need to build cabinets and then maybe have a grill. Second, a porch is not taxable. It's not an indoor space. And even without opening the door with the glass, you are enjoying the space without have to pay for it. And also, when you don't use it, you don't air condition it. And I think what is more important, that the view, every single view is tailored so that it becomes it becomes like a painting. I always refer it as a ever-evolving urban painting. You see this kind of different strata of development. You see there's a tree growing, and then at the back there's this kind of older apartment. And then you can see there's a new apartment coming out. And you can see in 50 years how this painting changed. So if you wash your hand, look at what you have. You actually get a view. So every view is accounted for, and you get some light coming into the sink. This kind of continuation of the space, making use of that, it feels larger. Yeah, okay. So this is the bedroom. A small house, you try to have the space as open as possible. So we have this door right here that you won't really see it, but you can just slide it open. So this large door right there, wow. They just close it and you can just open.
Because nobody wants to do that door.
Yeah, we have to build it ourselves.
We did it ourselves.
It was hard.
It was hard. I won't deny it was very hard.
You might not realize all the furniture, I built it.
Really?
Everything.
Even this, he made this too. Wow.
So the open shelf that you see up there, yeah. I got the help from my 2 brothers to hold it up. When you're building something just yourself, you have to figure out how to do it. Like this is one section, another section, 3 sections. So you take it in parts. You cannot build the whole thing. You just don't have the power to lift it. So we built everything here built. Even the countertop, we built it ourselves. All the furniture, it just, I do it myself. A DIY.
I love the uniform texture.
You have to thank my wife. Me and my wife, we stained this ourselves.
No.
Yeah.
Imagine all those spots at the top, you know, was so hard. We had a very long stairs to go over there.
When you have unlimited budget, right, you can buy the best plywood on the market. But this is the cheapest. You see those? Yeah, those are water damage. When you have like almost 200 sheets of them arrive and you try to return it, it's not that easy. So we figure, okay, we'll be nice, we'll work it out. So we find the color, and then right now you barely can see it. And we're not into trying to make it like super highly glossy and look expensive. We think this kind of bare kind of feel to it, it's more closer to the natural state of that material. The foundation is 12 foot deep. We don't go cheap with the structure. The main frame is made of steel. It's super sturdy, hurricane and all that. You cannot take it out. Once it's in, it's forever. But cabinet, you can change it. You know, you want different lighting, change it. But the bone, you cannot change. And then the rest of the stuff, you know, we can just be creative about that. All this countertop, right? I can tell you they are free. So when I buy the perforated metal outside, you're supposed to make trim. So the stainless steel company sent us a lot of sheets of stainless steel for metal trim. Instead of just going, just cut whatever, we go very careful and then make sure every inch is accounted for. So we got a lot of stainless steel left. So all we do is just bend it, and it's a free material. But the downside is we have to join a little bit. We have to have some kind of join a little bit shorter. So sometimes when you have restriction and constraint, it's actually good because it pushes you to be creative. So a lot of things like drawers, which is hard to build yourself, I bought from IKEA. And then we just built another around it and then just design it a little bit to make it a little bit different. And if you look at this cabinet right there, Home Depot sell them, and a lot of people use them for garages. Why is it not so appealing when it's in the garage? First thing, it's low. By taking it up, elevate it to that height, suddenly it feels a little bit more appealing. You know, suddenly I change the hinge a little bit, and then it works. I mean, the table right here, $5. So this is actually a door, a cabinet door, right? So there's a hole for the hinges. We couldn't find exactly the same length that we want, so you have to make sure the joint, it's working with that joint. Wow. So these are two pieces. I did all this with a handheld saw and a chop saw and a drill. Just three things is enough.
With a hand, wow.
With a handsaw. so I mean, you learn. That's my first year of architecture. I cannot take it out, but I even go extra mile and make that wall, you can take it out so you can see inside. With the digital age, we lost a lot of ability that our ancestors used to have. With your hand, I mean, this is the best, better than robot, right? So this is what I call the four-season view. So the front, you have this kind of ever-evolving urban. It might take 50 years. This one take 1 year. So what happens every year, it changes. I remember the first night when we moved in here, we don't have curtain. And the next morning, my daughter wake up, she would just sit there, I was so surprised that sit there and look at the tree. So,
Sometimes we just sit on the floor and then we just look.
If you look at the house, it's split in a way that the front is actually more of a public entertainment. And this is a retreat for us. So you come in here, you enjoy this, and then it's a retreat. So the light should be less than the living room. And the tree helps with that. People sometimes, when they design, the bedroom has way too much light. For me, a bedroom is where you retreat. So the bathroom is also trying to frame certain view. Wow. You know, this wood, it's not very good with water. I think we have to be extra careful when we shower. But what is nice about this bathtub is you don't have to maintain it. Because when the shower curtain pull out, you don't get anything wet. You see that?
Both sides.
So it's three sides. We don't have to scrub the mold on the tiles and everything. I don't want to have this heavy metal ring. I love something that is lighter. So using this kind of tension rod, you can get something lighter, and with the curtain that is frosted, it gives you this kind of very light kind of feel to it. So what is good about this, when you don't use it, you close it. But when you close it like this, you hide all the messiness.
Beautiful.
Nothing fancy. This is something, of course, Home Depot, you can get this easily. This is a bracket that the Simpson tie that they use for construction. This house is built 180,000 less than what the contractor asked for. So this is like another master degree for me. I learned how to do subcontracting. We try to ask people to do like a full mirror, and they want like $2,000. I said, no way I can pay that. So this is like, I forgot, like $50 IKEA. The floor, of course, if you have a very expensive floor, in the texture, everything will match. But we are using a very low grade pine. So what we do is we paint it black so that you just take out all the blemishes and take out all the difference. So right now, it just feels like a whole piece. This window right here for natural ventilation. So as you can see, the summer breeze comes from that direction. So when you open up this window right here, every swing of the window is accounted for. So if you swing in that direction, you block the wind. But if you swing that direction, you actually channel the wind to come through here. And then that window right there is actually swinging the other direction so that the wind will flush through. In the winter, the cold wind will come from that direction, and then this will channel it and bring it to the house. So you have these two windows working, trying to capture the summer breeze and also the winter breeze. Everything here at least have two purposes. Another purpose of this window, I call it the informal balcony. If you look at it, when you open the window, you actually extend flush with the neighbor's wall, right? So what it does here is, I get to talk to my neighbors from here. So this is like an informal balcony. The idea of shotgun houses is also mean for transitional houses. So it's a house that has to be constantly be able to change so that it fits different type of transition of your life. So the bottom unit is very similar floor plan like upstairs, except the kitchen. There's different way to live free. I've seen people, they move to the middle of nowhere and then they live in a car or something to live free. That's one way. Me and my wife, right now, we are kind of living free. The rent for the bottom unit actually pay for the mortgage. So this is a shoe rack. Of course, every inch you want to make use of, right? And this is a bookcase kind of thing from the other side. This is the thing that connects the internal stair. The other side is my house.
So the idea is, if you
close
wanted
it.
the whole space.
I take this one out. I take this bookcase, I put it here, or I can just put it somewhere. But you can easily just like 3 screws
Right.
and then just out.
So if you had 3 more kids,
You use it. So what happened is this. We use this for playrooms, but right now we rent it out, so use it as a dining. Another option here is instead of renting it out, in the future, if I started my own business and it grow, this can be an office. So this can be a break room, but right now it's used as a kitchen, a little tiny kitchen.
it doesn't take much.
So
What are they? He has an induction or something? I mean,
yeah, this is an induction cooktop, a refrigerator, a microwave. So it's not big, but I mean for someone just by himself or herself, this is actually enough. So of course all this stainless steel, it comes from scraps. So you see we have to be smart. Now we only have small pieces left, so you have to join it together. You also follow the seam of that.
In the right position.
Right, right. This is actually the blind for the window. It can be a wall art, and I just don't like the idea of having a curtain that sticks there that ruin the simplicity of that. So you hang it and then you can take it out and then you can just slide it in. So at night time, if you want more privacy, you can just put it inside, and then it's like an art wall, right? So in the morning when you want to enjoy the view, you can take it out, and then if you create something, we can just hang it right now. When I designing the bedroom for my parents, there's no eye level window. The window is actually higher up or they're lower. So when you don't see it, you feel like you are more enclosed. You're not enclosed, you're safer, but you still have the view. So you still have the view of the sky, and you still have the view lower. Before my mom moved away, this was like her favorite spot. Sometimes she doesn't want to have dinner in the dining. She just want to have dinner here. Because if you have trees and you have birds, She loves it. I make it on purpose not to finish the corner, so you can still see the kind of openness to your neighbor. Oh, and the door also, we couldn't get someone to do it because it's the way I want it is when you're outside, when you close it, it goes flush with the so that you have this kind of continuation of the wall. It's harder to do so. So yeah, it works. I mean, it's not perfect, but it works.
I also very much like the floor you picked here.
It's just exposed concrete and then you just seal it. And then you have this history of the construction, right? You get some part beat up, you get... Actually, you see this one right here? It's actually a stain of cedar. When they deliver the cedar, the guy didn't put it on top of a block or something, so he put directly, so when it gets rain, the cedar color just sort of stamp it.
You really know the building.
Right. So every single thing, starting all the way from excavating the soil to the last moment, I'm here. I think that's important. In architecture, it's not just when you finish, it's done. No. When you finish, you just started. Because that's how the house starts to live. It's a living thing. There's a life involved. So, I mean, eventually the wood is going to change color to lighter gray. And I'm still waiting for the right moment to seal it. Right now, those wood, they are not sealed. So I'm waiting for the right gray color that I like, color tone. And then when it's get gray enough, I'll seal it. It's hot. I just need to plug in. Everything here at least have two purposes. So if you want, you can go as high as you want. How high do you want to go?
You can put us like a bar.
Should we have a...
Yeah, we have friends over, and then you can use it as a bar.
And if you have the birthday for your daughter, right, you can lower it as low as you want, and it's this little tiny dining chair for them. But this is actually, they made it for drafting. But when I saw it, I was like, this is perfect for our space. So they do it. In US, it's almost like 50 years. 50 years, you have to change the house. Worse yet, you start to see houses that doesn't even last past 10 years old. The foundation starts to sink, the door cracks, the wall cracks, you cannot open the door. They're not built to last. So for me, it's important. On top of building a house that is strong and can last long, if you want to last long, another thing is people tear it down because it's out of date. You cannot use it again. So that's what I'm thinking. If I build it strong and want it to last, the second thing is the program has to be super flexible. The space has to be able to change to adapt to different type of use. So that's why it prolongs the life of a house.